Bienvenidos, Bulldogs, a mi cocina. Welcome, Bulldogs, to my kitchen. My name is Shirley Delgado, and I am one of the vice principals at James J. Ferris High School. And today I will be cooking with my husband.
Bienvenidos, MC Colts, a mi cocina. Good afternoon, MCC Colts, and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Alexis Delgado, and I am the EOF Director at Middlesex County College. And today, for Hispanic Heritage Month, we are cooking a traditional Peruvian dish.
The name of the dish is Lomo Saltado, and we're going to go over the ingredients before we start the cooking process.
So now what we're going to do is talk about the ingredients that you need in order to prepare your Lomo Saltado. So first what we're going to do is you need 2 red onions, large red onions. You need about 4 medium-sized red tomatoes, Jersey, of course, tomatoes. You need about 5 to 6 potatoes, russet or Idaho is just fine. You need some fresh parsley. And of course, you need your beef round stir fry. I'm a little lazy, so I buy the pre-cut style, and 2 packs usually is enough, but I want some leftovers for lunch tomorrow, so, kind of make some extra stuff.
Not if I take it first.
Oh.
To season the Lomo Saltado, you are going to need the following. You're going to need an olive oil or any oil of your choice. We are going to go with the Goya olive oil light. You're going to need adobo, which again, we're also using the light, but you can use any adobo that you prefer. Any black ground pepper that you have at hand. Salt. And some people do use ajinomoto, which is a Peruvian seasoning. It is like a type of MSG. I won't be using this today, but I think that I should mention it in case you wish to use it. You need soy sauce. Again, I'm using a light soy sauce for low sodium.
What are you trying to say?
That low sodium is good for you.
Okay.
And any red wine vinegar of your choice will do. Yes. And we will also be making rice, because rice is what we accompany the dish with. And so you'll buy your white rice, make sure to wash it beforehand. And sometimes I cheat and I use my little rice seasoning packets. If you have some, great. If you don't, really all you need to season your rice is garlic. I use a garlic paste and a little olive oil and salt. All of that to your tasting. And that's basically all that would be used to flavor your rice.
Ms. Delgado, do you cheat making your rice?
All the time.
Oh no.
You just never know.
Wow. Okay, so once you have all of your ingredients, okay, what do you need in order to cook your Lomo Saltado? Okay, so for the rice, we use a rice cooker. Okay, so again, anything, you may have a bigger, smaller one, all different types of rice cookers. Some of you are old school and can do the rice from a pot on the stove, and that's awesome and great, but we use a rice cooker. You need a small skillet pan, medium-sized skillet pan, and this is for your potatoes. Okay, and then your large skillet pan, which you're going to use to cook your Lomo Saltado and all the ingredients that we spoke about earlier before.
Okay, as far as tools go, you're going to need a very sharp knife. Okay, and this will be for all the vegetables, the tomatoes and the onions. Luckily, the beef is already cut up if you bought the stir fry. The French fries will also need some cutting. And before you cut the potatoes, you're going to need to peel them. So you have a potato peeler here. No skin on the potatoes for this dish. As always, you're going to need a cutting board. So I have my apple cutting board here ready to go. And of course, you always need a wooden spoon. Just makes things taste better, don't you think?
I do really think it does. It does a great job.
And that's how my grandmother does it. Okay, so first we're going to start with the potatoes. That tends to be the part that takes a little bit longer than the other parts, so that's why I suggest that you start with your potatoes. So if you don't know what Lomo Saltado is, it is a stir-fry dish, and the potatoes come basically as French fries. So basically we're making homemade French fries today with the potatoes. And to do that, you have to make sure that you peel the potatoes and that they're fully clean and that there's no imperfections. We just want plain peeled potatoes. So I know I said I was gonna do it, but I don't really like peeling potatoes, so here you go.
I thought you said I can cut the potatoes.
Sorry, now you're on potato peeling duty.
I always get stuck peeling potatoes, always. So you take your potato, you get your peeler. Some people can use a knife, a sharp knife. It depends on what you're comfortable with. But you just start peeling your potato.
See, he's really good at this.
Not fair. So what you're going to do is you're going to do this for every potato that you're using, and your potatoes should end up looking like this at the end. And you're going to make sure that you wash all of your potatoes once you've peeled them before you start cutting them.
So like I said, it's very important to wash your potatoes. And a neat trick is just to leave this bowl with water so that your potatoes won't brown as you're cutting them and as they're waiting to be fried. So like I said, now we're ready to cut our potatoes to make French fries. Can I have one, please? And like I said, keep the rest of the potatoes in water even when you cut them so that they won't brown as they're waiting to be fried. So you're gonna take the potato and lay it on its side, okay? And then you're gonna cut it into 3. So you're gonna have 3 pieces.
And why do you cut it into 3 pieces?
Because then you're going to lay them flat and then cut them vertically again to make your French fries. Usually you take one side and put it to the side so it won't slip. And now you're just gonna make your French fries about as thick as you want, probably like about the width of your finger. And that should be big enough. You wanna cut them evenly so that they all fry at the same time. And like I said, when you're done cutting them, this is about what they look like. And you're gonna keep them in water so they don't brown. And you go back to your other half, and you finish cutting them about the same width as the ones you did before. And again, you put them in your water. And you'll repeat that process until you're done cutting your potatoes. And then they'll be ready to fry.
Sounds delicious already.
It will be.
Okay, so now we've cut the potatoes. So now what we did is we are going to cut the tomatoes. Remember, we're using 4 medium-sized tomatoes. We've washed them under the sink, so make sure you always wash your tomatoes before you cut them. And what you'll do is you'll just cut them in half. And then what you'll do is just cut them vertically. Medium slices are fine. And then you just make sure you have a bowl. And again, you want to make sure the tomatoes are not too big, because I've been to restaurants where the tomatoes are really big and it just really throws off the dish. So you just want to make sure you don't do that. You'll do that for all the other tomatoes, and you'll cut them and put them in a bowl just like this. And you are done with your tomatoes.
And now we're ready to cut our onions. So first you're gonna cut off the ends.
And how are you cutting your onions?
Well, you're just cutting off the ends and then you're gonna put it flat and then you're gonna cut right down the middle. And with your hands, you're gonna peel off the first layer to make sure that you get all of the skin of the onion completely off.
Strong onion.
And now your onions are nicely peeled, nice and clean. And no tears.
Oh.
This is why you don't peel the onions. Now you're gonna lay your onion flat and you're going to cut it just like you did with a tomato. Medium size, not too small because otherwise the onions will disappear in the cooking process, and not too big because some people may not like big pieces of onion in their food.
This is so great that you're cooking this. love it so much.
Hang in there, I'm almost done.
Beautiful. So beautiful.
And now that they're done, you put them in the same bowl that you put the tomatoes in, because they're all going to be cooking together anyway. And you continue that process with the rest of your onions.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to now cook our fries. And on the stove, medium heat, you're going to put in your skillet, medium-sized pan. You're going to add your olive oil, and you're going to just put enough to fill up the pan. Say about an inch of oil. Because remember, you're going to put your fries in there, so you want your fries to be able to soak in there and get that golden crisp that we all love with fries. Okay, so now that you got your medium-sized pan with oil, it's now hot, ready to go for you to put your fries in. So I take my little spoon here with holes in it, and I take some fries from in here, and I'm just gonna put them gently in here. You hear that sizzle going on in there. Again, my mom and Shirley, she uses their hands, but I'm not about to get 3-degree burns right now, so I am a little bit more cautious with this spoon. But again, you just put enough to kind of spread it nice and evenly out throughout the pan. And you're just gonna let that cook for a little bit until you get to flip it and turn it when it's turning a little bit brown on the other side.
Okay, so now we're gonna cook the rice. Again, I'm using the rice cooker. I have a measuring cup that comes with my rice cooker, and I've actually used 4 of these to serve enough for 4 to 5 people, which is, you know, our family size, and also to accommodate the amount of meat that we're gonna be using for the Lomo Saltado. So we've washed our rice several times, and now we're gonna just dump that in here. Every rice cooker is different. For mine, if I use, let's say 4 cups of rice, then I'm gonna add 5 cups of water. And that tends to do the trick for my rice cooker. Okay, so in my rice cooker, I have my 4 cups of rice and my 5 cups of water ready to go. I'm going to do this the old-fashioned way and not cheat today with my seasoning packets because not everyone has access to them. So as I said before, you can just use basic seasoning for this. So you're just gonna put in a little bit of olive oil of your liking. Salt to your liking. And garlic paste to your liking. I'm using about 1 tablespoon of garlic paste. Then you're going to take your wooden spoon and mix it all around in there. Make sure it gets evenly incorporated. You need rice on the sides. Make sure you get it in there. Put the lid on and let it do its thing, and it'll tell you when it's done cooking. Okay, so we just finished rinsing out the meat and we're gonna get ready to season it. Some people like to wash their meat, some people don't. It's completely up to you, your preference. We just rinsed ours, so now we're gonna get ready to season it. Right now at this point, you only need 3 seasonings. You need your adobo, your pepper, and your salt. This would also be the time to put the ajinomoto, but like I said, I'm gonna abstain from using the MSG today, but it's completely up to you if you wanna use it or not. So again, you're gonna put salt to your flavor. Same thing with the black pepper to your liking. And same thing with the adobo. Remember that adobo already has salt and pepper in it, so you don't want to put too much. A little goes a long way. And Latinos, we're all about getting our hands in there. So, I mean, my hands are clean. I've been washing them after every little thing. But again, you go right in there and you mix them in with your hands to make sure that all the meat is evenly coated with all the seasonings. It is stir fry, so you want to make sure you really get in there. I've coated my pan with some oil, and now I'm just going to put the meat in the pan And I'm just gonna let it do its thing.
Okay, so as you can see, I've been tossing and turning the fries. This is a beautiful, nice browning that you have as you can turn it around. So now what you would do is you're gonna take these fries and you're just gonna use a pair of tongs and you're just going to transfer them here to a plate with a paper towel to kind of soak in that grease. Okay, you can do that. Again, I can also use my spoon with holes on it to kind of drip the oil. It's really up to you what you want to use. But again, these look delicious. Again, nice brown coat to them. Delicious homemade fries. And then what you'll do is repeat the process and add your other fries in there. So this is pretty, a tedious task that you have to do, but again, you'll repeat that until you get all of your fries done.
Okay, so while our French fries are frying and our stir fry is cooking, we can work on the garnish. The parsley is just for the garnish. We did wash it and I even put it in a paper towel here to get some of the dampness out before I cut them. Really what you're gonna do, and again, this is a little bit time consuming, but you're just gonna break off the leaves until you have enough to cut them. Put the stems to the side. I'm just gonna do a few and then I'll finish the process on my own. So let me just show you what I do with a little bit. You bunch them up as tightly as you can, and you're gonna chop them up as little as you can. Careful not to cut your fingers. And after you go once, you go again. And that's it. Just a rough little chop because this is going to be for garnish later on. So I'm just gonna go and finish up the rest of my parsley.
Okay, so now that you have your meat, and I guess I want to just kind of let everybody know that these are pretty thin compared to usually what we use. Our supermarket unfortunately did not have the thicker cut of the beef, stir-fried beef. So again, we're just doing the best of what we can with what we had, but normally it needs to be a little bit thicker. So I've been turning them around, and now you're just gonna move everything to one side, half of your pan. You're gonna take your cut up onions and tomatoes, and you're just gonna put them in there. And we're gonna kind of let that, cook. And then we are going to move on to the next part where we're gonna add some additional ingredients to this. But for now, this is what you would do.
Alright, so at this point we've been checking in on our tomatoes and onions. And just so you know, with the spoon, I've just been kind of breaking up the tomatoes so that, not the tomatoes, but the onions and the tomatoes to just make sure that they're kind of single like this and not stuck together. And when you see that they look like they're about cooking, you're gonna get ready to pour in the vinegar and the soy sauce. Also, just for you to know, I have been adding a little bit water just to make it a little juicier. So if you see that it's drying out, you add a little bit of water. You could also, for more flavor, use beef stock, but if you don't want to and the tomatoes are giving you plenty of juice already, you don't need to add any water. So that's just on a need basis. So at this point, I'm just gonna put in a little bit of red wine vinegar to my taste. Same thing with the soy sauce. Again, I'm using the light or less sodium, and you're just going to mix it in there and bring in that stir frying in there. And you're going to let it cook just a little longer so it can sit there in its own flavors.
For about how long?
At this point, everything is kind of cooked, so maybe about 5 minutes, and that's about it.
Okay, so now I'm finishing up my last batch of fries. I like some extra fries. That's maybe for a little something else, maybe for another little dish that I'm gonna do this week. But with the fries that I've already cooked, as you can see, I'm just gonna add these now to our lomo. Okay, after I got some little extra, you don't want to put too much in there. And you're gonna just mix it all in. Gonna get all of that flavor of that juice in there with the meat, the onions, and the red tomatoes and the meat. You're just gonna mix that all up, and that's really the final part of it. And you will have your lomo saltado. And then we are just ready to plate now.
All right, everyone. So the light on my rice cooker lets me know that it's done cooking. It's just keeping it warm for me. But we're ready to plate now. So we're ready to fluff up our rice just a little bit before we serve it. And you're basically just going in there and breaking it up just to fluff it up. All right, now that it's nice and fluffy, you could take just like, you know, however much rice people want and put it on their plate, a couple of spoonfuls. But if you want to do a little bit of a trick for presentation, this is what I do. I take a little bowl, put my rice in there, pack it in. Take a plate. And there you have it. Perfectly round, nice little mountain of rice. And then we're ready to plate the lomo saltado next. So now that you have your rice plated, we're gonna plate the lomo saltado.
Smells amazing.
You did a great job with the fries.
I sure did.
Okay, and now we're going to put some parsley just for garnish. Just a little bit. Just to make it look pretty.
And this is how it should look.
So this is lomo saltado. And now that you're done, you just need someone to taste it, so you can find your favorite person or one of your favorite people to come and taste your dish. Sure, you'll do.
Well, before I taste this amazing dish, a thing that goes really well that we enjoy having with our lomo saltado is Inca Cola, a traditional Peruvian soda that we enjoy putting together with this dish. So again, you can drink any drink that you would like, but again, you know, if you want to get that full Peruvian experience, the Inca Cola definitely adds to that experience. So let us take a taste of this dish. Amazing, amazing, amazing.
And now that you know how to make it, you can cook it from now on.
Oh my goodness. I knew there was a catch.
Always.
I knew there was a catch.
Always.
Well, we hope that you enjoyed this preparation of a Lomo Saltado to this wonderful program for Hispanic Heritage Month. Bienvenido a nuestra cocina. Welcome to our kitchen. And again, my name is Alex Delgado from Middlesex County College, and I was joined by my beautiful partner in crime,
Shirley Delgado from James J. Ferris High School.
So thank you, enjoy, buenas noches, adiós.
Gracias por venir.
Así es mi Perú.